Hello, my name is Connor. I'm documenting this journey. It is September the 23rd, 1905. I recently moved from the United States, surprisingly enough, to Russia to see what it would be like. I kind of wanted a new life for my family, and I'm a dedicated socialist. I firmly believe that we need to have a classless society, and I think it's just fair to people and it's more equal. And I knew there would be more people like me out here in Russia. And I like what Tsar Alexander II is doing. I know some might have problems because the nobles seem to be taking back a lot of the land that the serfs had. However, it's nice that he did eliminate serfdom as a whole, and he's not really set up a democratic system, but he's giving everyone a say, like having jury trials and relaxed censorship laws, like giving people a little bit more freedom in that category. And I've actually been working in a factory here in a suburban region near Moscow, and I think it's a good idea. I've been getting a decent amount of money. I don't feel like I've been maltreated, so I think it's a good connection. Um, However, I still see many a famine here in Russia. Like, I mean, of course, we won't go back to 1891 where it was just absolutely terrible. Like, they were using grain as currency. I wasn't here at that time. I just knew about it. And, in the United States, I'm used to using, cash for everything. But here they use produce and various things like that. In the famine, that was especially the case. Um, it's interesting here to find um, three very different political groups. You have the liberals, you have the Democrats, and you have the revolutionaries. And it's very interesting seeing that, well, not necessarily balance, but just many arguments happening because they all want in, they all want different ideals, but they're not necessarily going to get that. However, as I said before, I think Tsar Alexander II is really doing what he can. He's doing his job, but I can't really say much about it since I'm still an American citizen. But I know most of the people I've been associated with are the liberals, as they do want to keep the czar and just make reforms through him, which I think in general will help the community. It's amazing all the diversity I see here in Russia, even though it's only one country. So many different dialects, so many different languages we have in such a huge place. I mean, a ton of people. And, I'm not using that term frivolously. We have a ton of people. We have basically 74 million of them. It's just amazing seeing all of them running rampant around the European area of Russia. It's mind-boggling, really. Uh, but I like what's going on here in Russia. However, my kids recently have been going through diseases, various sicknesses. Luckily, I live in an area of Russia where medicinal services are more readily available than others, but disease is running rampant. One of my kids had tuberculosis, and he's still just getting over that now. He almost died from it. It was a very frightening experience. You never want to experience that as a father. And then recently, back in January, we had what I guess was called the Revolution of 1905. I'm a very religious guy. I'm very into Russian Orthodoxy. However, the arguments and the absolute crazy scene of arguing of religion and politics and all that, and villages everywhere they were marching with their crosses and just because they thought they were being maltreated. They thought they weren't getting equals say they wanted to, practice their religion freely, not have politics overtake it. But sadly, a lot of them were shot and killed. And I'm an active citizen, but I'm not a rebel, as it were. I don't like to, take part and argue too much. I just like to see politics happen. But what can you do? But I have to share this with my family back in America. If and when I come back, I am enjoying Russia. I don't know if I will come back, at least for a while, but I do like it, and I hope my family's doing all right. All right. Well, this is my documentation, September 23rd, 1905.